like I can go without my hands on the handlebar. And I feel pretty comfortable doing so, you know what I mean?
I like this bike so much that I'm contemplating replacing my favorite bike.
No way. So this might be your favorite bike?
What's up, y'all? So we received what might be the best full-size, step-through, all-terrain e-bike as of 2025. Right now, this bike is like around $1,000 or less. For that price, you're getting a bike with a 1500 watt motor at the peak. Not sure what the average power of the motor is. I'm assuming 750 watts, but I'm not sure. It has a 48 volt, 18 amp hour battery, advertised to go 80 miles to charge. This bike weighs 82 pounds. Maximum weight of the rider is 400 pounds. And it's from Jasion. So far, I've received like 5 bikes from Jasion.
Are you on folding usually?
I think Jasion has sent me like 3 folding bikes and 1 moped style e-bike. And this is their first step-through, full-size e-bike that I've gotten from Jasion. But with all their other bikes, they have not missed. Like, every bike is of good quality, especially for the price. I am curious on whether this has like a torque sensor or a speed sensor. I couldn't find it in the specs, but usually once I ride the bike, I can tell.
To purchase this e-bike, feel free to use my link and my code in the description below to get a discount. Also, I am doing an e-bike giveaway. If you want to be included in this giveaway, you have to be subscribed to the channel and comment below on what type of e-bike you would like.
So what we're going to do is we're going to unbox this. We're going to go through all of the features, put the bike together, and then we're going to go on-road, off-road, especially have the lady test out this e-bike to see if this can be her favorite e-bike, because the lady in the video loves step-through, full-size e-bikes. And to help me put this bike together, I got my brother and fellow e-bike connoisseur, Tayo. He usually like moped-style e-bikes, but we'll see if he likes this one too.
So this is what the bike looks like fresh out the box. It was packaged pretty well. There was a lot of foam around the e-bike, so I doubt if anything is damaged. I do wish they did more to protect the other wheel. So we got this bike unboxed. Doesn't look like anything was damaged. So it looks like we're gonna have to put our rear rack on, or we're gonna have to put our front fender and our front wheel on. And this is a 26x4, I think that's WD tire. And I've had a e-bike with a WD tire before. Pretty grippy. Not sure about the durability. I guess we're gonna test that out. Looks like the rear rack is already on and the kickstand is already on, so that's good. This bike also came with 2 boxes, so let's see what's in these boxes. I'm pretty sure that is our bike charger. Charge our 48 volt, 18 amp hour battery. So it came with some pedals which are labeled. It came with a bag with a bunch of tools, including hexagon wrenches that I can actually use because they're long tools here, and our user manual. That's not a user manual. It does give you a QR code though that you can use to download the manual yourself. This other box has our beefy headlight, a little bit smaller than the ones we normally get for such full-size e-bikes. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put this front wheel on. So what we're going to do, because we have a very flat surface on this side of the front fork, I'm going to put my headlight on here, and then I'm going to put the front fender on top of the headlight here to kind of keep the headlight in place. So we got this bike put together, only took us about 35-40 minutes. I think the size of the bike is pretty standard for a full-size e-bike. It's about 6 feet 1 inches from wheel to wheel. The handlebar, which is not really adjustable, but we have it at now like 3 feet 8 inches. The seat is surprisingly can go down really low, like lower than normal. It goes down to like 2 feet 7 inches from the floor. Look forward to how these WD tires are going to perform on our off-road test. These tires do seem more grippy than normal, so we'll see. This bike does have a very sleek look to it, very like curvy design, especially for a step-through e-bike. I think it's a decent semi-standard looking bike, but let me know what y'all think. We have a large detachable rear rack on here. Rear rack like that can usually handle like 50 to 60 pounds max. Ergonomic seat seem pretty comfortable. I do wish it was a little bit wider though. Get a look at our rear and front 180 millimeter J Fickle hydraulic brakes. Looks like we have a nice wide cruiser style handlebar. Handlebar is about 2 feet 3.5 inches wide. It looks like we have this rubbery, firm but pretty grippy handlebar grips. We have your standard Shimano 7-gear shifter. This bike did come with a set of keys that you can use to take your pretty standard battery out. So you would just put the key in here. Then you turn this under your battery so that you can take your battery out. We do have suspension on the front of your bike, but looks like you can just open up your suspension or lock it out. Let's say you're on a flat surface. So we're going to go ahead and open it up. Give y'all a look at this front suspension. We have a plastic chain wheel cover. I like the aluminum ones a little bit better. The aluminum ones are a little bit more durable. This button, this orange button, that turns our display on. Looks like we have a twist throttle for throttle only. If I press and hold the plus button, that turns my semi-beefy headlight on and my rear light on. And that rear light is also a brake light. Now if I click the left or right arrow, that turns my noticeable turning signal on the back of the bike. Looks like we have a horn. Gonna now look at some of the basic items on the display. Up here we have our pedal assist modes. I'm gonna go to my panel and press up and down to change my mode, plus and minus. So it looks like we have 5 different pedal assist modes. We have our speed calculator here. Pretty sure you can change that from miles per hour to kilometers. Here by default we have our trip mileage. We didn't ride the bike at all, but I'm not sure where that 0.3 came from. But if I click the M button on my panel over here on the left, I'll get more information on my display at the bottom. So it goes from my trip mileage to my odometer. To access some more settings on your display, this e-bike actually comes with a Jasion app, which you can use to change things like how many pedal assist modes you want here at the top. You can also use this app to do simple things like turn the headlight on using your app. See, I just turned the headlight on there. On this app, look like you can also change whether you want to calculate your speed in miles per hour or kilometers. Decide what your top speed is. Look like we have 28 miles per hour. And you can adjust how fast you go per pedal assist mode. You can adjust how bright do you want your display. We're going to keep it at light. You can reset your trip mileage, so we're going to go ahead and do that now. Or you can return to your default settings. I normally don't like apps. I do think it makes the bike way more user friendly, but my fear is, do they have like a technical person to kind of help you with these apps in case you have any errors? And what if the e-bike company goes under? You know what I mean? Jason been around for years. I doubt if they go under, but if the e-bike company does go under, who's going to manage the app? You know what I'm saying?
Go too fast. So what you think of the suspension? Really? That's intended for your favorite bike? Word? No? You can pay.
Okay. So Jasion Thunder, what are your thoughts?
I like this bike. I like this bike so much that I'm contemplating replacing my favorite bike.
No way. So this might be your favorite bike?
I'm not saying saying it is, but I'm thinking about it. It's a step through, which is good for me. I don't have to do all of this to get on and off the bike.
And how tall are you?
I'm 5'5". It has a nice sturdy rear rack, which is what I like when I shop or buy things. I want to hold stuff. I think that the tires, I like the fat tire bike. It has a bigger, beefier light than I currently have with my bike. And it is a twist throttle.
Twist throttle. You like the twist?
Like I haven't found a lot of bikes that are step through and fat tire, good for women, but also have the cool little twist throttle. The display is great. This also has cool little turn signals. The only thing that I did not like about this bike is that, and I don't know if you can fix this, it sounded like somebody jingling some coins while money. It sounded like chicka 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 chicka.
Yeah, maybe it's maybe it's the rear rack or the rear fender.
Yeah, something. The suspension is okay. The suspension like a 7.5.
7.5.
And I want to keep up with the boys because it's go fast.
It goes fast, right?
Yeah.
So what you giving this bike on a scale from 1 to 10? Keeping in mind it's like, I think it's a little under $1,000.
Men, fellas, if you want to get your woman a bike, get her this. Don't get her the Louis Vuitton bag.
Get her a bike.
Get her this. 9.5.
9.5.
Get rid of the jingly coins.
All right, Jasion don't miss.
Jasion do not miss.
So we're gonna try out these all-terrain tires. Now these rocks are pretty much dry because we haven't gotten a whole lot of rain and it's the summer, so see how we do it, see how grippy these tires are. So far so good. More grip than normal actually. All right, let's brake. Oh, that's not bad at all, okay. So these tires are definitely grippy enough for you to lean into your turns. That with the wide handlebar mean you can lean pretty comfortably. Not encouraging you to lean, but lean at your own comfort. I like leaning because I think it gives you more control of your turns. So I definitely feel comfortable leaning. Don't feel like I'm gonna fall. So we're not gonna continue to test out the suspension, test out the tires, gonna go off-road with some hills. And man. All right, so far so good. You can definitely tell this bike does not have full suspension. But considering let's keep going. The suspension is just okay. The one in the front. It does take out some brunt of your bumps and cracks when you're going off-road, but I feel like the tire is what's doing the majority of the work, not necessarily the suspension. So, it's not a full suspension bike. Almost more of a commuter bike that just happened to have all-terrain tires. That's kind of what it feels like. But the suspension is okay. I stay on the scale from 1 to 10. Let's go down here. Yeah, I get a suspension maybe like a 6.5. I hear something rubbing on the front of my wheel. I have the fender off the tire quite a bit, so I'm not sure what that is, but do y'all hear that? A little bit, right? So I would say if you get this bike, definitely take it to your nearest bike shop. Make sure they have a look at it. Make sure you installed everything correctly. I hear something rubbing. It sounds like it may be something with the brake, but the brakes are great, you know what I mean? But I'm 5'11", 6 feet with shoes on. This bike is pretty much perfect for a guy my size. And it's shorter. If you're shorter than me, this bike will be great for you too because it's a step through, right? I would say though, if you're a bit shorter than me and you don't have long arms, you may want to get a handlebar extender so you can have some more option on the height of your handlebar. But for me, the bike is pretty much perfect size, you know what I'm saying? Also, the pedal assist of this bike, it feels like a cadence sensor. I like torque sensors better because I feel like the torque sensor takes into account how hard you're pedaling. Cadence sensor is just trying to get you to that max speed, right? But I give an example, mode 1, the pedal assist is pretty much perfect in mode 1. Looks like it takes me up to 8 miles per hour. And mode 3, the pedal assist is perfect in mode 3. I'm gonna switch it to mode 3. So it sends me flying just a little bit, but I can still keep up with the motor. And I'm in the higher gear. Looks like mode 3 takes me up to 19 miles per hourless brake. Really, really great brakes. I love hydraulic brakes. But if I switch to mode 4, right? I'm gonna pedal in mode 4 here. Mode 4 is when it gets a little interesting. So it takes me off immediately, but now I can ghost pedal a little bit. Yeah, I can ghost pedal, you know what I mean? That's a cadence sensor. Now it's not so bad where I can't keep up with the motor. I can still keep up with the motor, which is good, but I just don't feel like my pedals are being considered as much as it would if I had like a torque sensor, you know what I'm saying? But it's not too bad, you know what I mean? Now I would say this bike is pretty comfortable, you know what I mean? It's pretty stable, really easy to maneuver, easy to control and handle. Like I feel like I can go without my hands on the handlebar, and I feel pretty comfortable doing so, you know what I mean? I feel like I could probably even blog a little bit without my hands on the handlebar, you know what I mean? So really, really comfortable e-bike, really stable, really easy to control and maneuver. So good job on that. I'm gonna go max speed, pedal assist, and again, it's gonna try to get to the max speed, regardless of how hard I pedal, because I think this is a cadence sensor, but I can keep up with the motor, so it's not that bad. So 26. We'll try to gun it here. We have a straightaway. 27. 28. It looks like it's a hard stop at 28. Trying to get to 29. But I don't know, now it kind of feels like a torque sensor a little bit because I can keep up with the motor pretty good. And I feel like my pedal, even though I'm in mode 5, I feel like my pedal is being considered. So, I don't know. See how fast we going, max speed, throttle only. 26, got up to 26 pretty quick, 28. But now I'm kind of going down the hill, 29. We'll stay 28 because I'm down the hill. We'll stay 28. Yeah, we'll stay 28 miles per hour, max speed, throttle only. Now, I do think this will be a great bike for the street. Not encouraging you to take your e-bike in the street, but I think it's a great bike for the street because it's kind of big, like it has some size to it. But it's also very, very comfortable. Like it's very easy to maneuver, even though it has some size to it. Feel very stable. I doubt the wind will sway the bike. It has all the bells and whistles I think you would need in the street. You know, headlight, rear light, turning signals, horn, all that cool stuff. Urban area, I'm kind of 50-50 on using this bike in the urban area because it's so big. But even though it's big, it does have a pretty swiveled handlebar, which means you can cut through some pretty tight corners. So that's good. So that means you can avoid people and things pretty good with this bike. But because of the size, I'm kind of 50-50 on using this bike in like an urban area because it's kind of big, you know what I mean? But you'll definitely have the handle you need in order to be in a more urban area because of the handlebar being on somewhat of a swivel. Like I think I could turn the whole thing around like this, you know what I mean? So we're not gonna go max speed, throttle only, up a hill. This is a pretty steep hill. There's about a 35-40 degree hill. Hill also has a turn on it. So we're gonna see how much speed we lose going up this hill. Going into the hill, we're at 27 miles per hour. Going into the hill now. 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. Okay, so we lost about 10 miles per hour. The standard is usually 9 to 10.
Jasion Thunder, what I like the most about this bike is, outside of the price, is the comfort. Definitely one of the more comfortable step-through e-bikes that I've used on this channel. Definitely could use this e-bike without my hands on the handlebar. Love the bells and whistles, the headlight, the rear light, turn and signals, the horn. 50-50 on the app. Like I mentioned earlier, what if something happens to the company and who's going to manage the app? You know what I'm saying? Love the speed. I was able to get up to 28, almost 29 miles per hour, and I like the battery life. I went on a 16, 15 mile bike ride. I spent 3 of those miles going max speed, pedal assist. I spent 1 mile going max speed, throttle only. In that 16 miles, I only lost 1 out of 5 battery bars. So that is more like 65 to 75 miles per charge based on my bike ride. I do wish you had full suspension, but you know, again, the price, right? And I would advise you to take this e-bike to your nearest bike shop after you put it together, make sure everything is okay. That noise that I was hearing was one of the washers. I put it on the inside of my front fork to prevent the brake from rubbing, and that's how I was able to fix it. But take it to your nearest bike shop after you put it together. But yeah, very comfortable, sturdy bike that you can take on-road and off-road. The suspension was okay, but it did absorb some of the crack that you would get when you're going off-road, especially if you're going in grass or gravel. It was decent enough. So on a scale from 1 to 10, for the price, I'll give this bike an 8.5. Comment below on what you'll give this bike on a scale from 1 to 10. Any other e-bike you want me to review, also comment below. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.